Hi everyone, welcome in. This is your video for Venus in the sign of Scorpio or in the 8th house, and I think I am the perfect candidate for for telling you what this position is like because I have my Venus in the 8th house. And okay, let's get started. First of all, when Venus is in the 8th house or in the sign of Scorpio, it's in its detriment position. Venus is the ruler of Taurus, and when it goes 7 places from itself, it is in its detriment position. And 8th house is the house of transformations. And Venus is relationships. It tells me that your transformations or transformations in your life come through your relationships. And Venus matures at the age of 25. It is actually after the age of 25 that this Venus's energies start maturing and they become more grounded, and you know how to handle this energy. 8th house Venus is an intense position, and 8th house is the house of death and rebirth and transformations, sudden events, crisis, inheritance, insurance money. Your spouse's family is also 8th house, and your spouse's wealth is 8th house. Astrology, occult, everything that is hidden, like these hidden communities and societies like Illuminati and I don't know what all. They're all 8th house. And Venus is love, lovers. Venus also represents spouse. It's also your sexual energy, your passions and desires. So when you have Venus in the 8th house, relationships bring intensity. Relationships are intense and they bring intense transformations in your life. You can also experience sudden ups and downs in your relationships. Like you may have sudden breakups. Everything is going well. You just met this person a night before and then they just want to break up with you. That is also what I have seen happen with Venus in the 8th house. I actually know quite a lot of people who have Venus in the 8th house, and I have it myself. So this is something that I have seen through my experience. I've seen it happening with people, and interest into astrology and all these things, it happened to me. So Venus in Scorpio wants intensity, very easily gets obsessed with relationships, or maybe they attract people who get obsessed with them. 8th house Venus also has jealousy issues, like you might be jealous of your past, of your lovers, maybe because you have a tragic ending and then you see your lover in your with somebody else, and you get all this obsessive and you're like, man, I just wish this person and his girl, they just die. So that is what happens in when Venus is in the sign of Scorpio. Very intense emotions. Also they can get jealous. And when you have Venus in the 8th house, now this is different from Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Venus in the sign of Scorpio is different, but when you have Venus in the 8th house, 8th house is your spouse's money. You can actually attract somebody who is, sorry for that, who is well to do, or you can attract somebody who is doing better than you are financially. These people can be very interested in occult, and Venus in the 8th house can also give somebody sexual abuse, especially early on in life, before 25. Venus in the 8th house can also take somebody into pornography or business of love and sex, or where the energies of Venus are exploited. 8th house Venus actually invites exploitation. So you can be into a business or into a situation where the energies of Venus are exploited. 8th house is also how you die. So Venus here, 8th house is also your longevity. So Venus gives you a long life and you have an easy death most of the time. Money through inheritance also comes to you, and relationships fail before the age of 25 a lot. This is something that I read in this classic. What was the name of this classic? It's based on sidereal astrology, and that book says that before the age of 25, if you get married, your spouse dies. And I was like, whoa, this is really intense. But I think that metaphorically that meant that if you get into a serious committed relationship before the age of 25, you just have a hard time dealing with it, and most of the times you break up because your Venus is in an intense place, and it's hard to handle, especially when you are young. And Venus in the eighth house loves sensual pleasures. They can also be very sexual. Venus in the eighth house is a very sexual and a magnetic placement where it can give you a very sensual and magnetic personality. And it can also give you a love for everything that is fine and good, fine dining and luxurious things. These people can be obsessive lovers. They can perform black magic to destroy the other partner's relationship. And this, usually, Venus in the eighth house will not do it in itself. But if this Venus has some hard aspects, then there are great chances that these people can actually be dark energy practitioners. And I see so many people, even on YouTube, they're into. They're teaching black magic and how to bring misery to your ex-lover or your enemies. But you have to know that the laws of the universe is that if you're sending negative energy to somebody, then just multiply that negative energy into 10. This is how universe is going to be sending it back to you. So there is this tendency that these people can get so obsessed that they can sort of try and walk on these dark paths, and they can experiment with these dark energies. But again, not everybody is going to be doing it. This, if Venus is receiving very hard aspects, then it might happen. But overall, these people take love very seriously, and they overthink a lot about love and relationships. And this is why they sometimes just tend to overstress themselves regarding their love life. Venus in the eighth house will face betrayal at least once in their life, or if you have Venus in the Scorpio, you will face betrayal. The sign of betrayal in astrology is actually the sign of Scorpio when you have your Venus there, which is your love relationship. So you face betrayal once in that life, and through that betrayal, an amazing transformation happens in your life. So that's the blessing of Venus. Whenever your relationship ends, a beautiful transformation happens in your life. You can also attract partners who are very dominating, very control freak partners, or there is a chance that you can actually become a control freak in your relationships. Also, Venus in the eighth house can give a very luxurious life, and Scorpio Venus and Venus in the eighth house, both, they give you very deep lovers who also crave intensity and depth as much as you do. And this is the kind of person who would want to commit, and keeping things casual or friends with benefits, that's just not for them. Venus in the eighth house can also bring cheating issues, or Scorpio Venus can also bring out cheating issues, because Venus is looking for depth. You have to understand that Venus exalts in the sign of Pisces. Pisces is this highest of everything. Pisces is this utopia and this zenith of everything. So Venus is always looking for the highest of love, the highest of devotion. And when you're in a committed relationship or you're married, you know that things get rough, and marriages are not a cake on the walk. Marriages are not a walk in the park. So when they have to face the harsh reality of relationships, marriages, and things get boring, or things start getting serious and rough, that's the time that Venus might feel like, I'm not getting the intensity that I crave for, and they might start looking for relationships outside of their commitment. So that's also something that Venus in the eighth house brings, and cheating issues and betrayal. And Venus in the eighth house can also bring scandals. And you guys remember Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton, the famous Clinton-Lewinsky scandal. Now, I don't like to go into detail of things because I think it's just disrespectful to people, but just a little bit of this and that is that this Venus can give secret love affairs, and it wants you to keep relationships secret. Often these people will keep their relationships secrets, but if this Venus is receiving hard aspects, the relationships can actually come out as scandals. And Venus in the eighth house or in the sign of Scorpio will have this tendency that your partners, or maybe you, can hide stuff from the other person. So Monica Lewinsky, the Lewinsky-Clinton scandal, Bill Clinton is the husband of Hillary Clinton, and guess what? Hillary Clinton has her Venus in the sign of Scorpio. Venus is also the ruler of seventh cusp, so it's telling a lot about her spouse. And Venus in the sign of Scorpio, I believe she has it in her third cusp. I'm not sure though. So you see how her spouse's secret love affair kind of became scandal. So that's also something that this Venus in the house of Scorpio or in the eighth house is capable of doing. And this is the kind of person who will love keeping his or her relationship secret. Like, these are the kind of people, they might be working in Venus in the eighth house is just drawn to forbidden love. So these are the kind of people who might be working in an office where there is a strict rule that co-workers cannot work together, cannot be in a relationship. So you might be in an organization that forbids the members of the organization to have any sort of romantic or sexual relationship, while you might be involved in a relationship and you might keep it a secret, or you just might like keeping relationships secret. You're very secretive about your love life in general. And Venus in sign of Scorpio or eighth house can also attract lovers who like playing mind games and are very calculative regarding love. And it can give multiple love affairs, and spouses can cause infamy, or maybe your own secret sexual relationships can cause infamy. So Bill Gates also has Venus in the sign of Scorpio, and Hillary Clinton also does. I believe Jennifer Aniston also does, but I'm not sure about her. But Hillary and Bill, yes, Hillary and Bill Gates, they do have their Venus in the signs of Scorpio. So yes, that is that. This was your little video on Venus in the eighth house or in the sign of Scorpio. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing below. If you wish to take a bus, this is just something that hit me, that if you have Venus in the sign of Scorpio, and Venus is such an important planet in synastry, then your Venus goes along with a fellow Earth or a water Venus. So Venus in the sign of Scorpio, you go best with somebody who have their sun, moon or Venus in water signs and earth signs, that is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. Fire and air Venus will not be the best suitable for you, but again, if there are combinations in synastry that are supporting it, great, that can work. So but generally Venus in Scorpio does well with other water and earth signs. So yes, that's that. If you wish to take a personal reading, you can email me at celestial.astrology108@gmail.com. Thank you so very much for watching. Lots and lots of love and light to you. Stay blessed. Bye bye. See you in the next video.